Hey guys, SickMotion here with the patch 7.2 notes. Kind of confusing actually, because I think WoW is on patch 7.2, so whenever I googled stuff about this, I kept getting mixed results, so it's kind of funny. Anyway, this is the patch where Warwick gets released and reworked and all that stuff. Seems kind of interesting, seems fun. His sustain is really ridiculous. I was playing around on him with him on the PvE while the server was patching, and his sustain with Gunblade is hilarious. I don't know how viable it is. You can never really judge anything that you do on the PBE. It's kind of a fiesta over there. But, I mean, be interesting. He was banned pretty much every game after the server went back live, except one, and that guy fed out of control and didn't know what he was doing and built pretty hilariously as well. So, I mean, it's going to be hit miss. I think a lot of people are banning Warwick just because they don't want to see people like that guy learning how to play him or learning how not to play him, I guess, while he's on their team. But anyway, there's that. Callie got an AP ratio, zero point 0.1 on her ult. I mean, you're using your ult for dashing around for mobility more than anything, so a 0.1 AP ratio on it's not the biggest thing in the entire world. And I mean, her mid game got nerfed as well because there's a gunblade nerf later on that you'll see, and that's kind of her core item. Darius got some, I guess, power on his ult, or not his ult, his passive rearranged. So the bonus attack damage, sorry, is reduced by 10 from levels 1 to 14. It's still the same later on, which is 200 bonus attack damage at max level. For those who didn't realize it, it's actually quite a bit. And the Q damage is 35% damage of the hitting them with the blade if you hit them with the middle rather than 50%. So you're doing 1/3 rather than 1/2. Gragas hasn't been seen in a while. Not doing the best in the new jungle. Past flat armor up by 3, so that's basically 33% of your yellow runes on there. So basically, Gragas gets 3 more yellow runes if he's running flat armor, and his passive now heals him for 6% of his max health rather than 4. I think that's more in line now because they took off. I can't even remember the name of the mastery, the free health one out of the jungle. So maybe that's kind of going back up because of that. Graves' True Grit duration is refreshed by his basic attacks and spells against non-minions. So basically, jungle monsters, champions, just not lane minions. Katarina, Hershon Poe got a total attack damage ratio down by 0.15. Quite a bit for a total AD ratio, actually. Lulu, I kind of skimmed over some of these. I didn't read all of them. Looks like Lulu has her Glitterlands mana reduced, and the damage on picks is higher. So, Lulu, ladies and gentlemen. Master Yi, if double strike's first hit kills a unit, the second strike now searches for a target within 300 range, prioritizing killing blows. Kind of cool. Channeling, meditate, pauses the duration of Wuju style and Highlander. That's actually really nice, so that you don't feel like you're wasting the durations on those if it's better to meditate, and that's like the choice that would be the right choice. You're not going to be punished as much for it. Now grants Master Yi 1 stack of double strike per second while channeling. That's kind of cool as well. So it's actually tactical to do that rather than using it as an auto attack reset or to block a little bit of damage. Nidalee, base health back up. Traps are now invisible, have 3 health, and are disabled by control wards. Not unlimited anymore. 4, 6, 8, 10 throughout the game. So that's based on the level of the character, not the level of the W. Kind of more in line with other champions that have trap abilities. Makes them more useful as well. Her minimum heal and maximum heal on E both increased, so just Nidalee buffs across the board. Haven't seen her in a while. It's been lovely. Now that she's getting buffed, kind of feels bad. Yasuo's base damage on his E is reduced, but now has a 0.2 AD ratio on the E to kind of make up for that, and it's actually a buff, I think, in the end anyway. The 0.2 AD ratio doesn't scale with the stacks of E, so that it's just flat 0.2. It doesn't increase to 0.4 if you have stacks and stuff. Duskblade true damage on it, just the base true damage on it, is up 25, so it's from 10 to 50, so a little bit better there. I was actually experimenting with the Armor Pen Scion today, having kind of mixed feelings on it. Lethality got buffed a little bit, as well as the items here. This is a really big buff on Edge of Night. The cooldown is 45 seconds. It's now 30, and using the Edge of Night's active ability while invis/camouflage will no longer break the stealth. So if you ult on Talon or you ult on Rengar, you can cast that, and then actually go into combat with it. You'd have to use it before stealthing or ulting, which was kind of lame on those characters specifically. Also on Kha'Zix, I guess you could ult and then channel that if you had time. If you're like in a fight or something, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if that would end up working out, if it wouldn't work. There's the Hextech Gunblade nerf, 250 at all levels, but it is now 175 to 250, so it scales up. It lost 75 damage, but it scales throughout the game. But I mean, on characters that really rely on that, like a Kali, for example, that's actually going to feel pretty bad. Knight's Vow, combination cost down by 100 and total cost down by 100. I haven't really seen anyone build that past the first week anyway. Ardent Sensor, attack speed buff is 20 to 35 based on the target's level, and health drain buff is 20 to 35 based on the target's level, so it actually scales now. Chalice of Harmony, magic resist increased a little bit, and Mikhail's magic resist increased a little bit as well. Haven't seen those items built that much anymore either, because everyone and their dog is building the redemption, because it's really strong. Broken strong. Jungle timing, so I always thought this was weird, but jungle monsters were spawning 3 seconds before they normally would, so jungle camps were spawning at 137 rather than 140, so for anyone who has like OCD, that's probably triggering the hell out of them. Now they spawn at 140 flat, which is nice, but now the Krug and Gromp spawn at 152, which is another non-flat even number, so right back to being triggered. You thought you were safe, you're not. So Gromp has more attack damage. Attack damage decreases over the first 5 attacks to 50. Matches the decaying attack speed. Gromp's first 2 attacks are now shown as critical strikes. Ancient Krug's base attack damage is 80, and the Honey Fruit time between spawner is between 6 and 6:30 rather than 5 and 5:30. I'm not sure why they make it kind of random. I thought they wanted to take RNG out of the game, but I mean, whatever. It's their game. Rift Scuttler now eats uneaten, the gummy bears, the river gummy bears, the melon fruit, the things that pop out of the things and heal you. If you don't eat it all and you're going to waste, the Rift Scuttler will happily take that. How adorable. Big nerf to Cock Shield here. The shield duration is down by 25% from 4 seconds to 3. The base shield is it used to be 10 per level, and now it's 3 per level. So it was basically like cutting a third almost. Actually a little bit more because it's not doing the rounding shit. So it's 1/3 of his effective off the base. That's per champion. You got to keep in mind it still does have the scaling on your max health that didn't get touched, but as far as the base shield on it, it is quite a bit lower. I mean, it's 130 less shield, and the duration of it's a second less. And that's 130 shield per champion, so if you dive into 5 people, you're going to have a much smaller shield. I've seen a lot of top laners running Grasp now rather than that, but I mean, it's the first day, so it'll kind of take some time. Big nerf to Ghost, actually. I think this has a lot to do with mid laners taking Flash Ghost and just being like ultimate utility. Ghost movement speed now ramps up over the first 2 seconds rather than activating instantly. It's still the same duration for the Ghost, except you don't get it all right away. I'm pretty sure you get the Ghost effect to like run through minions and whatnot, but the actual movement speed that you get doesn't come to full until 2 seconds in. I understand that from like mid laners, like you just push Ghost and you walk away and you're safe in most cases. I almost think that they maybe should have made that change for range champions, but for melee champions that traditionally ran Ghost before all of these buffs, that kind of rely on the Ghost, maybe not have that ramp up speed. I don't know. It kind of feels unnecessary, to be honest, in a lot of cases, but we'll see. They changed the particles on the revealing plant thing as well. There's some client updates. I haven't been looking at any of these client updates, so I'm not going to start looking now, honestly. Highlights and video recording. We've added the ability to manually toggle video quality for the highlights from your replays before you start recording. You can alter video and audio quality. So that's kind of cool. And you can record highlights now as well, which is kind of cool. I'll probably look into doing stuff like that. I mean, doing highlights and stuff, if I have music playing on stream, kind of sucks because then the music might copyright it and ruin stuff. But often the highlights, I mean, if I'm doing the highlights just from in game, it's not going to show my webcam, my reaction, my mic, everything going on there. So it might kind of lower the quality of the highlights as far as that aspect. But overall, just like cool mechanical plays, you'll be able to appreciate there. But I still haven't made the switch over to that other client yet, so we'll see. And then just a whole bunch of bug fixes. I never really look at these bug fixes, so there's a whole bunch this time though, and some new skins and whatnot. So that's about it. Warwick, kind of interested to see how he goes. I was, like I said, I was playing around with him on the PBE, building like really tanky stuff and then like gunblade stuff and just kind of trying to experiment. He seems like if you just build like typical like tank stuff with like an Iceborne, his sustain in lane is ridiculous. I mean, his overall damage output isn't as reliable. So we'll have to see what role he wants to fulfill, if he feels useful, if he's not doing all that damage, if he's just tanky or not. Kind of reminds me of like Trundle, but with more sustain. Um, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Don't really know where he's going to go yet. But if you found the video helpful, I did this a lot faster than I thought I was going to be able to, actually, which is kind of cool. So, yeah. If you found the video helpful, make sure to drop a like, drop a comment. I do read the comments, even if I don't reply to them that often. Follow the channel, or subscribe to it. Sorry, I'm kind of tired here, getting things confused. Social media links and my stream link, as always, are in the description there. And take it easy, guys. We'll see you next time.